Hi, welcome back to a brand new video of the Targeted Individual Program, Targeted Individual Experience. Yeah, again, the New York Predator Department. What the hell he doing? Look at this clown. All right, he was driving up on the street, turned on the sidewalk, revving his little scooter motor, making noise. Right? And he had the New York Predator Department. I guess that's the new perk, because I've been seeing him lately too. Like I said, they always got to find somebody new to engage in, in this. And I keep exposing them. That's right. I'll keep exposing them. So anyway, the previous video I uploaded talked about, and that situation is not the first and it's not the last, and there's many others, okay, many others. Black people, we are in trouble. We've been in trouble, okay? All right, everything that these white Europeans stole from our ancestors, reinterpreted in their vision and give it back to us. And when they give it back to us, it has corrupted our minds. It has, like I said, it has made us into believers, right? So now you have the Catholic, because again, this is where these black Europeans who believe in Christianity and believe in Yahweh and Yeshua and all this nonsense, whether they call themselves black Hebrew Israelites, what have you, they're still going off of what Europeans created, right? And instead of going back to the original, they're so in love with, the white man religion. And it is the white man religion. And you hear these black churches talking about, well, Christianity is a black man religion. No, it's a white man religion. Okay, in ancient times, black people followed the Hebrew belief system also, just like you do today. They spread their religion. All right, there were many different religious beliefs. All right, many different gods. People went around fighting each other. Whoever win, they will absorb their god into their belief system. Right? So you have the Most High, El, Yahweh, Baal. And over time, those that believe in Yahweh won. Okay? And they converted more people. All right? So like I say, go and read the book, Hebrew and Canaanite Religion. All right? You get it for free. Online. You get the PDF version. Okay? Even in your very own Bible. Where the God said, let us make man. Right? And I was reminded today too, watching the shrine of Ma'at, right, with the Tower of Babel. Right? And what did God say? Let us go down and confuse, the people so that they will speak multiple language. Again, the use of the words let us. All right? Go read your Bible. You'll see what I'm talking about. Like I said, and they hate it when I learn about African history. They hate it when I learn about Kemetic spiritual science. Right? You talk about the tree of life, the fruit of life is nothing but wisdom. Right? And there's a reason why in your Christian Bible, right, that is the woman who gave the man the fruit of knowledge. Because in ancient Kemet, it is the woman who had the knowledge. They were the teachers, the scribes. Right? You couldn't have a king or a queen coming from the male line. It had to come from the female line. This is our history, our story. The Europeans and the Arabs took and reinterpreted it to their version. So you have a patriarchal society which bash women and put them behind them. Whereas African spiritual system, the woman is by your side, right? The woman is by your side. There were no black queens in black women. There were no women queens in ancient time, but in Africa. Okay, in Africa, right? So when they teach you about kings and queens sitting on thrones, they got that from Africa. Everything they copied from Africa. Look at this dude, right? So why did he do that? He just stand up in the cold right here to eat his food, right? And then as soon as the gray vehicle passed by, look, there's two of them too. All right, is there another one? Yep. What is it? You guys see the pattern in threes now, right? Gray vehicles. Okay, so yeah. Basically, again, these fanatics. But I'll teach them. And what is he wearing? Red. And what is she wearing? Red. I don't know what she's wearing up there. Red. Again. Right? They're two colors. Anyhow. So yeah. All right. So you don't have. There were no Roman queen who was rulers. Okay. And so look at these idiots. Look at these idiots. Look at these idiots. And I do mean idiots, right? Instead of him letting he couldn't, but anyway, he could have reversed back. He could have, but they got to be difficult, This guy's like, yeah, my truck is bigger than your truck. The other dude was like, shit, my SUV is small, but damn it, I'm gonna make it seem like it's big, like your truck. The male testosterone, the male ego, right? What you see there, the display of the male ego. Just like the New York President Department and their egos. They're retaliatory, right? They think they can get away with everything and with everything that they do, every criminal act. And, I'm here to say, no, you're not. The one thing they'll try to do too, particularly as the TI, they'll always talk about your ego, right? But remember how they manipulate you. Remember, they are constantly manipulating you to affect your emotions, to manipulate your emotions, to change your mindset. So you got to understand that. Go and read books on dark psychology. Go and read books on narcissistic personality, right? Learn the different types of personality disorder, right? You have also, which a lot of black people suffer from, is called histrionic personality disorder, particularly black women, right? Particularly black women, because again, growing up with no father within the home, and again, not being taught anything by their mother. When I say taught anything, meaning that they're not being taught the truth about life and the broader aspect of life, white supremacists, white racism, right? They're not being taught about men because they don't know who men are. Their mothers don't know who men are because this white feminist movement, right? Again, which is controlled by white corporate males and white males within the U.S. government in seeking more profit, have sought to destroy the mindset of women. Okay? And so what we are seeing now is a pushback, a great pushback, because the women have become delusional, particularly in the black community. The European women are highly delusional. And then you start, look at the two, look, hand behind head, look, pinch your nose. Right? The European women become highly delusional and all of that too, because the pastors are using the very same tactics, right, to create a narcissistic mindset. Why? Because they are their biggest contributors to the churches. Black women give more to the churches, black churches, than any other group of women, right? Black women spend more money on luxury items, on high-priced items than any other woman. Black women buy more weave. Black women support many industries, and this is why they have a vested interest in making black women delusional so they can sell their products. They can create whatever mindset they want to create to sell their products, right? So you see them now wearing these long eyelashes, right? Doing these so-called, what they call baby hair on their forehead, and it looks absolutely ridiculous to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say that to me. That's my opinion. You know, and you can see the further degradation of young black women within American society, and young black men too, that they have become more and more feminized, right? And they are engaging in all sorts of bisexual activity, particularly amongst the college campuses where they're taking these party drugs, right? And then you go read the report where he talks about black women on college campuses who are diagnosed with STDs higher than any other group of women. And why? Because a lot of them are knowingly in relationship with bisexual men, and they are at highest risk for contracting HIV. Right? This is something that the black community don't talk about. Right? Because that has become, they have weaponized STDs against us, there's weaponized sex against us, to where we really don't want to talk about it now. Okay? Meanwhile, the reality is that for black people in America, right, the highest rate of HIV infection, particularly gay black men, half of gay black men have HIV. Okay? Black women contract more STDs than any other STD, and also that, but they spread more STDs than any other group of women also. Why? Because the vast majority of black women are only sleeping with a few of the men, right? Look at this church bullshit. Here come we again. Look at that. Yeah. The religious fanatics. Now, I want you to see the imagery, right? Okay? I want you to see the imagery. Let's see if you're going to park up. You might go and park up. You're going to move. Okay. Alright? Alright, now look. There's a black man in there. Look at, it's a black man, right? It's a black man. A black man in there, right? Look at the imagery. Look at the imagery. Look at the imagery. Okay? So, any black psychologist want to do a social studies experiment in terms of religion and how black people are still, black religious people worship whiteness, right? They worship whiteness. You would never see a white man driving in a van playing religious gospel music and you see a church full of black people in it. You will never see that. Okay? Never. But they do this to show me exactly the type of control that they have over the minds of my people. Okay? Black people, black men and black women worship whiteness, particularly when it comes to in the form of their religious saviors, right? In the form of their savior, he has to be white. Jesus has to be white. Okay? And even those that try to make him black, you're still following the white racist religion. You're just painting his face a different color. Right? So, anyhow, I tell you, black people are, sometimes, we are a lost cause. And I keep saying, even though it's not our fault, but we have we have an awakening to come into that. That's not going to happen in my lifetime. But we have to, black people who know the truth, who understand our history, we have to start sowing the seeds in which we can teach our people the truth. We can teach our people the truth to stand up for themselves instead of going down on their knees and asking for some white devil in the sky to come save them. Right? Teach them to look within, to raise their children to look within, to raise their children to be thinkers, builders, producers, right? to be mindful of what you feed your kids. Okay, because this is a war that we continue to ignore, that they're poisoning our food, they're poisoning our air, they're poisoning our water, and they're still doing it, right? And we walking around like if, because again, they have reduced our intelligence. And I say intelligence, I don't mean smart, like you can remember shit from a book, like you can do a job that's good or great. I mean intelligence. Okay, I mean looking at the surroundings and see what's going on. Okay, and teaching your people, those around you, exactly what's going on, so they can again see and understand, so they can take action. Okay, so they can unite. I mean, not just with black people, but white people too, Hispanic people too. Right? White supremacy affects white people also. Though they benefit from it the most, it affects them too. It affects how they treat other people. It affects how they see other people. Okay? And like I show you, you know, with their religion, what it is that they do. Right? Don't be fooled by because you live in a liberal city and white people live in close proximity, right? Because you remember, you can still go to some places like Howard Beach, Bensonhurst, where else? Places in Queens, where you will still find yourself as the minority in there, and they will treat you accordingly. Not as respect. They won't treat you respectfully. They'll still use the N-word to call you that. Okay? If Trump get elected, look what you're gonna see what happened. You know, all you gotta do is look at these young white men and women who speak the truth about what they've been taught in the home, right? And check this out. Isn't it interesting that you no longer see a lot of those videos, whereas before you used to see a lot of them? Why are you not seeing a lot of those videos now? Huh? They were very popular, right? So why are you not seeing a lot of those videos now? Because white people are always on code. If one of their kids or a couple of their kids get out of line, they pull them right back in. Get in line. Okay? So you got to understand that. You got to understand this, right? We as a people, we don't have a code in which we can stand by in unity, because we are pulled in so many directions. Because again, once you are a believer, that's what happens. When you believe things, they will pull you in many directions. Look, me as a thinker, I read books, watch videos on different things, and I have to, you know, like I said, I have to understand that some things that are being said, some things that are being written, even though it's the truth, you still have a white interpretation and a white concept, right? So when I'm reading about ancient Kemet, okay, they continue to use Egypt, when we know that Egypt was not the name. Okay, we know it was called Kemet. When they talk about, you know, for example, they talk about Hannibal or Alexandria, you know, they will use other culture. They will use, when they're speaking about ancient time, they will use their ancient name, right? They will use their ancient name. So they'll talk about the Phoenicians. They'll talk about the Canaanites. They'll talk, you know. But when it comes to Kemet, they continue to use the word Egypt. Why? Why? It's to take away what black people have created. It's to take away the names that black people have given Kemet, which is our culture, not the Arabs, not the whites. Okay? Black culture, black African culture. Right? So these devils are never going to stop, and we have been tricked, deceived, manipulated. They have continued to devolve, to to denigrate our minds, to denigrate our history and destroy our history. Right? Come on now. So anyway, a lot of red tonight. A lot of red. Another guy showed up there in red again. I see a couple of them passing that way. I wasn't even paying them any money. But yeah. Anyhow, yeah, that's what's happening. You know. Anyhow. All right. So as I was leaving Pam, she, it was like 8 o'clock. She's telling Ethan to go take a shower because she used to do shit. And I keep telling her, I said, Pamela, why don't you listen? Why don't you listen? Okay? You could have done his hair yesterday. You decided not to. Right? That's what you told him. Go wash his hair so you could do it. But you decided not to. Right? Then she's like, oh, I have to do laundry and cook. Again, doing laundry and cook is not a big deal. Doing laundry and cooking is not a big deal. Okay? What it is like I said, she on the weekends she wants to limit her activity with the kids in terms of helping them with their homework, doing their hair earlier instead of doing it late at night. Because now, and on top of that, my daughter was sleeping the whole day. So I know she was up all night. She probably went to sleep right before I got there. I got there like around 12:30. And I tried to wake up to do some math and some reading exercise with her. And she couldn't get up. She was so tired. She was so tired. And I said to Pam, I said, I told you that at 12 o'clock, make sure that they're in their bed. Turn off their computers, okay? Don't just go in there and say, okay, kids get to bed, and then you go back in your room and you lock your door and you go back to sleep. Make sure they're off their computer. Turn it off. So I turned off my daughter's computer, so when she can't use it during the week, because again, she chooses not to listen. And then my son, when I get there tomorrow, I'm going to turn off his computer for the rest of the week. Because again, he doesn't listen, right? So I asked him earlier to do some of the sketches that he was supposed to do, right? He didn't do it. All right, he decided. I said, I keep telling you, if you're going to sit on there and play games, and you're not going to, then this is what I'm going to do. And I've said to you, when it happens, don't be surprised. Okay, so tomorrow his computer's going to be off for the rest of the month, and probably until next month also. No more computer. He can use his tablet. He has his school iPad. He can use that, right? But no more. And Pam's not gonna like it. She already told me, don't do that because, then they're gonna be at each other. I said, no, they're not. I said, what it is that they're going to pay. They're going to be coming to you more often, and you don't want that, right? So the computer is you. It's funny, right? When I build these kids a computer, you're like, why are you building them a computer and this and that, such and such? Ethan is too young to have a computer. Because Ethan had his computer at 7 years old, right? You know what I'm saying? Ethan is too young to have a computer, whatever. I said to him, I went to the same thing with Bryce's mother. When I think he was 6, I bought him a laptop, right? That was his first computer. And then at 12, I bought him, we built his first desktop computer when he was 12 years old. Okay, and that lasted him for over a decade, okay? Before I built him a new computer, which I built in, 2020? 2021? 2021. Okay? And, and like I said, I've updated her graphics card to a more recent card, and Ethan updated his graphics card so he can have a little bit more VRAM so he can play Minecraft with mods. Right? But Ethan had a couple of upgrades on his computer from a brand new CPU, new motherboard, new case. Basically he had a brand new computer. But anyhow, he's a very good typer. I mean, he types very well on the keyboard. That's the one thing I can say. At his age, I couldn't even type. Like I said, at the 80s, I couldn't even have a computer. I couldn't even type. We used to take typing in high school. Okay, Ethan could type with his eyes closed. My daughter Alyssa, she could type very well. All right. Okay, play games on the keyboard. I can't even do that. Like I said, my brain has been rewired. Look, another woman showed up in red again across the street. So what I started to see noticing too is a lot of red. Of all the dark colors, and you start people showing up in red. But anyway, so yeah, so they they don't understand the importance of these things, and having their kids. And I'm not just talking about just buying your kids a tablet, right? So you buy your kids a tablet, what do? They're on it all day. Yes, my daughter have a tablet also. Okay, all right. But when she has to go and do a project, right? She can't do it on her tablet. She needs a computer. Okay, and this is why a lot of kids in school don't really, they're not, when they hand in their project, it's usually from magazines. Their parents might print it out at work, and I said, no, you buy your kids iPads, which doesn't make sense to me. But you're not going to buy them a computer. An iPad, you can buy a computer for the price of an iPad. Okay? And have a monitor, and have a printer at home. It's like I said, they've conditioned us to think so backwards, right? Like I said, you can build your own computer. It doesn't take that, just watch a couple of YouTube videos. You need to do about a good 2 weeks of research. Watch videos, for a week straight, a couple, right? And you can do it. Now the hardest part is, going into the BIOS and setting in a couple of features and stuff like that. But, there's videos on that too. Right? It's like most of our kids are not technically minded. They're very creative, but they're not technically minded. And the reason why we are continue to be the people that create things and not create anything that's technologically, again, very few black people, right? Even though we are in the tech space, but it's very few, right? But there's a reason why we are so creative in the arts, meaning that like in music and artistry, design and clothes and stuff like that, right? Yeah. But we're also engineers. We're also mathematicians. We're also scientists. We're all these things, right? But the vast majority of us don't think that way, so our children cannot be that way. And it's very hard, like for me, I give them quizzes all the time, like, tell me the specs of your computer. And it's like they just want to use it. But it's like it's again, a lot of it has to do with also, their mom, right? So she's not that type of person, and she doesn't try to push them academically. When I try to do that, and it's a little too much for them. And again, I don't push them that hard. But the fact, like I said, during the pandemic, because she wanted to go do what she wanted to do, and have somebody come to watch the kids during the school, and not even help them with their homework during the week, so they didn't turn in any homework. I mean, it wasn't so hard. School's over, give them a 2-hour break, and then help them with their homework. Everything was done online. When I said to her, hey, why she don't have my homework? Well, that's not her job. I mean, can you imagine that? Not caring about your children's education. Like I said, my son had a parent-teacher conference, which I forgot about. She didn't even mention it to me, because she knows I'm not gonna let her throw these kids under the bus, because she'll come in the house and tell Ethan, you got to do this and such. But then she does the same shit like she's doing tonight, doing his hair late, which means he's not getting to bed until 12, 1 o'clock at night. Right? He's barely getting enough sleep. He's sleeping in class. Right? He comes home, he's tired, he goes to sleep. See if they're gonna listen. And then she puts the blame on me. Well, you're with them after school, and I'm just like, really, Pamela? Like, you really must think I'm some sort of chump, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I said, no. I said, accept the damn responsibility and stop that shit. Okay? Anyway, I'll talk to you guys in a minute.